How are you? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mudit. Good afternoon. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing too great too. Thank you. So though we know each other from long, but it's the formality that I have to go ahead with today. I'm the host for the show today in Talk with Expert. Welcome to episode 3. So I'm the director for University Partnership for Uni Expert, which is a London-based edtech company. So the motive of the show is actually not sales, if I'll tell you honestly. So we won't be talking much about the product or the university that you are working in or anything else. But the only thing that we'll be more and more concerned about would be how you have done it, how you have landed in this industry, how you have came in here today. So we'll be talking more and more just about this today. So can you just quickly introduce yourself and tell a bit about the current university you are working in, and then from there I'll take the show forward.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you so much, Mudit. I know, we have known each other, for quite a while, but then it's good to have a feeling, when you're interacting, on a virtual platform, specifically, when you're interacting as professionals. So it's a good feeling. Though it sounds a little funny, but then yes, yes, now we are professionals. And yeah, so just a bit of, brief about myself. So we already know the name for the people. So the name is Amit Arora, and I'd say, I have a total now, most of the time, probably I have an experience of 18 plus years now, out of which, 12 years have been, within the international education business. And prior to that, I was in the retail and starting my career with the BPOs, call centers back in 2002, 3, and then somehow gradually moved up to the business development and retail sector, and then finally landed into the international education sector. So currently, if I talk about the current role that I'm playing, I'm the South Asia manager representing the University of Buckingham, UK. It is a university based out of, we're just 1.5 hours away from London. We are a private university. Having when we say that we are a private university, but still we are an independent player. When we say we're independent, what we really mean is, there are no external stakeholders in the university. So that's quite a very good factor. The most promising factor is, we are a gold rated partner. Our overall ranking within the UK local rankings, we range, at 128. That's a local ranking within the UK. Our founding member is one of the family members, from the Royals. So that gives a very credible factor, why a student actually should choose or opt for University of Buckingham when there are other players also present. The major USP for with studying with University of Buckingham is, for all the undergraduate students who are really looking forward to pursue their higher education, our 3-year degree is not a traditional 3-year degree. With our university, the students are able to complete their 3-year degrees within 2 years. So we have a fast track, accelerated programs, for the undergraduates. We've got a wide array of programs available, right from business, accounting, probably MBAs, masters, and the best part, another USP is, that we do offer MBBS, MS as well. So not very much universities within the UK have this same kind of program. They do have, but there are a lot of stipulations. But with University of Buckingham, it has their own advantages, lesser formalities, and very minimalistic requirements. And the students can really hope, aspiring doctors who are really looking forward to pursue their medical career in the UK. I think, University of Buckingham would be the best place to pursue their higher education. We've almost, the concept of 2-year education that was founded, we actually expertised that particular area in the 1970s. So as you can see the timeline, we have really spent quite a good while, number of years, experimenting. Not, I would not say experimenting, actually, or expert, having an expert side on the driving the accelerated courses. So that's in a nutshell, about University of Buckingham. We do not have any deadlines. We've got 2 intakes a year. That's January and September. But then there are a couple of programs available, which the students can really look forward to. There's a minor intake in April as well. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah. So that is about the University of Buckingham in a nutshell. Because
So,
I can go on and
so
on.
No. As I said, this show is more about you and less about Buckingham. Please don't mind that. We'll give you a chance to talk more about Buckingham towards the end, when there are people who wants to know a bit more about Buckingham, and they'll ask some questions to you. So my first question will be straightforward to you. That you were working in a call center, and that's
Yeah.
in the capital city of India. Then how the journey started to go abroad? If I'm not wrong, you were in USA, and you were in Singapore as well. So what that small proportion was for, and how does it benefited you? This is really important to tell, because the students or the aspirants who wants to go abroad, they wants to know what kind of a exposure that they are going to get, which actually benefit them. Okay, so you are also one of those examples. You went to US, you stayed there for a couple of while, you worked there, and then you go to Singapore. Can you just give a quick snap of 5 minutes to those memories?
Sure. I mean, I'd be happy to. I mean, though, I mean, a couple of memories are not that pleasant, but then, in a nutshell, now when I realize, when I, recall my older times, I mean, I think, they played a very, very important role, to the place where I am right now. So, I mean, it's good that you brought it up. Thank you so much, Mudit. I mean, I'll relive my memories for the next 5 minutes. So now I started off my career, I would say, probably, yeah, in 2003 starting, I would say, it's 2002 in the end, but then beginning of 2003 I started off my my career with Convergys India Services. So at that point of time, I mean, BPOs were one of a very, very most promising job oriented sectors, that one would really look forward for. There were a couple of reasons. First was, I mean, it was a multinational culture that the India was developing. Probably, I mean, the biological cycle was also different because we were working as per the American or the UK,
Mhm.
timings and everything. The best part was the pay grades. The pay grades were really good. I mean, imagine a graduate, who's just a, a plus two student. I mean, who's just, passed out from the school, high school or senior secondary, and or a normal graduate. I mean, the opportunities were not that ample in amount because of the lesser amount of exposure. So I think for a normal graduate, to land into a triple figure salary in back in 2003, I think it was a big deal. So it's kind of
Yeah,
very
that's true.
exciting, when I got to know,
Yeah.
I was, kind of hopping down the options, and I wasn't, really landing myself. Not really, my mental thing was not really prepared to, work for, probably 4 or 5K a month. That was not, I
Mhm.
mean, I know, I mean, at that one time it was too high an expectation, but then you have certain dreams and aspirations, that you really look
Mhm.
forward to.
Mhm.
So I was lucky enough, I mean, to land into Convergys, were one of the, best BPOs to work with. I think top three BPOs, because number one was
Mhm.
Genpact at that point in time, the other one was IBM, and the third one was, the Convergys. So I've been working with Convergys. I mean, I always say that I really take pride in it. When I landed into Convergys, I mean, it has been one of the most memorable experiences of my life. I mean, the way, I mean, I communicate today, it's all thanks to
Because of,
Convergys, because they really,
yeah.
put in so much of effort. Because at that point in time, I mean, language was one of the most, prominent priorities for any BPOs to survive in India, because they had English clients. And when you have English clients, you need to have that language, up to the
Skills.
benchmark on what is
Yeah.
their expectation.
Yeah.
So I
I
mean,
understand.
that was, that really helped me a lot. I did stay with Convergys for about 3 years. I started off as a customer care executive, moved on to senior customer, support officer. So I did get a promotion also with my salaries and everything. I mean, life was
Mhm.
good. Life was good.
So
I mean,
how come US in between?
yeah, that is what I'm coming to. I mean, I'm a hardcore Punjabi by heart, and we all have that. And I mean, being in the international education business, and now I come to realize, I mean, every Punjabi dreams of not staying
Yes,
in their home country, but everyone wants to go to Canada.
everywhere.
So
Canada or,
that's the biggest dream.
yeah.
So I mean, till the time I was working, I mean, 2.5 years, 3 years, within the BPOs, I don't know, somehow there was one of my roommate. I mean, he actually, cropped up this thought into my head. I don't know how did he
Mhm.
come up with the bloody idea, but then it was a brilliant one. But then, and somehow things, started materializing. We looked for, because we were at a stage wherein, I mean, we could, manipulate, or probably not manipulate, I would say, play with our career to enhance our skills. Maybe, getting a better opportunities in the market. So, I mean, he somehow we got to learn their institute. I mean, there were SAP courses, though it was hardcore
Okay.
IT oriented things.
Mm-hmm.
But then there was something related to the to the retail management as well.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was looking forward and was working with BPOs, and the life actually became quite saturated because the biological cycle is also different, from the regular life. I mean, and and 3 and 3.5 years within the spending within BPOs actually change your the way you think, and the change the way you adapt things also, because we're not living in America, we're living in India.
Yeah,
So
in India.
either you go to America, or either you start living in India
Sorry.
and live a normal
Yeah.
life. So that was one thing I was looking forward to, and then all of a sudden this thing happened. It was one of my roommate. I mean, he actually we thought of a plan, and somehow we got lucky. We got a good institute. It was a private one. However, we applied for a student visa. It was not
Mm-hmm.
a regular F1 visa that we call in technical terms. It was an
Mm-hmm.
M1 visa, which is
Mm-hmm.
called a vocational kind of course, wherein, I mean, you get a 6 to 8 months of visa. But then, because see, all my end of the day, what my thinking was, I wanted to get exposure. I wanted to live the life practically, how these people react, what is their culture, because I
Mm-hmm.
had learned so much in my trainings, during my
How to
stint with the
citizens.
Converges. I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
really know how they live, how they communicate, because I mean, I was an American. I mean, by the time I spoke to any goddamn American, I had developed that slang. So I used to think like that. So, I mean, to cut the long story short, I mean, I did get an opportunity, to explore that opportunity, to study. So we applied for a visa. Luckily, we both of us we did crack the visa as well. It actually was a learning for me as well, because I went as a student.
Mm-hmm.
I went there, we completed our course, and I applied for my H1, and I'm talking about year 2007. It was almost 4 years, when I was in the capital city. So I went there, probably as a student, worked there, and working within the US actually, did give me a very, 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 very practical, aspect of life. I mean, how a student lives there. I mean, and it is not that easy, when we say that, we want to go to America, or we want to go to Canada, or the UK, for that matter. I mean, the students, as a student, I mean, you really have a lot of, obstructions, and, the expectation for another alien country, it becomes altogether a different, reality, a dream turning into a reality. But then that dream is not very pleasant enough. You really need to work towards, living that dream of yours. If you want to, stand up at the
Mm-hmm.
Statue of Liberty, waving a flag. I mean, you really, work towards, you need to, and when you think that you got to go to Manhattan, Times Square, and you need to go to
Mm-hmm.
the top floor of Empire State Building, you need to have that buck also into your pocket, I mean, to afford that.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes a lot of things. So,
So that
yeah,
is something that you knew when you reached there.
you breaking up, Mudad. I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you.
Am I fine now?
Yeah, it's fine now. Yeah.
So I'm saying like life takes a U-turn when you reach there. Actually, it doesn't turn out exactly the way you have thought.
I
I mean,
mean,
you might have thought 100 and it turns out 70, or you have thought 100, it turns out 20. How was it?
to be honest with you, I mean, when I used to work with the US process, working within India, I know every goddamn bit of, how the US telecommunications work, how, I mean, you dial a phone number, how you speak. I mean, there's a prefix one. I mean, every goddamn thing that you are, trained to do so. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I'll be very honest with you. When I landed at New Jersey Airport, I mean, that's Newark International Airport, that's Edison, New Jersey. When I landed at the
Mm-hmm.
airport, I mean, I know it sounds really stupid and funny also. I mean, I really forgot how to dial a number. I had to call a cousin to pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
I completely, it was a total blackout, when I landed there, in the US, because this was really a dream coming into a reality. But then it's
Mm-hmm.
altogether a different ball game, because I mean, you've got too much going through your head. I mean, how are you going to cope up? I mean, how are you going to,
Mm-hmm.
adapt to the, locals? How are you going to find a job? How are you going to, go to the university? I like numerous things as a student. But luckily,
Mm-hmm.
what, I mean, people are there at the airport, to help you out. So, I mean, landing there, yes, I mean, it was, a really, really big task also. But
So,
then
so,
landing,
uh, so they do you get the help normally from the Indian subcontinent people there, or are they the US citizens who normally help you? Because this is an important question for everyone who goes abroad. That will I get Indian culture or not? Will I get help from the Indian culture people or not? So this is an important question that comes on most of the people mind. So once you landed there, you said you get help from at the airport. Were the Punjabis or the Indians or the subcontinent people?
I
Who
mean,
were they? Who helped you?
there are a lot of people, who really come forward to help you. But then, I mean, if it is a help not involving the commercials, not involving any money-minded matters, I think that is good enough. But then when it comes to money matters, it is really, really dicey and tricky. And you do get help
Mhm.
to answer your question. I got a help, at the airport from a Gujarati woman. She helped me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She was a woman. I mean, she had a a small store. I mean, she used to sell sandwiches and juices at that particular.
Mhm.
So she helped me
Mhm.
out, how to do that. I mean, in terms of help, I mean, you can expect help from anybody. I mean, people are there to
But
help
not
you.
commercial. Not
Not
commercial, but you
commercial, but
normally get guidance in it. Obviously, I
yeah,
can understand.
you can definitely, put that foot forward, but then not everybody would be
Mhm.
like that. But then I was lucky enough because I had one of my friend's cousin, I mean, who really supported me
Mhm.
well. And
Mhm.
that's a very, very big, it's a huge advantage, guys. I mean, if you've got a very good relation sharing, someone who's
Mhm.
living abroad as a student, and if they're ready to support you, I think
It's
it
a
is
great,
like, an
great.
angel, that came down from heaven to help you out on an alien land.
Yeah, that's
That's the
so.
feeling you get.
So what was the reaction back home, like in your family, about your mother, your father, your brother? What was the reaction down here? Were they happy, excited, worried? So what was the reaction back home?
See,
Oh no,
in terms,
were you married at that time?
I was not. I was
I was.
engaged. I was engaged when I went there, but I
Okay,
wasn't
you're
married at
not
that.
married. So what were the
Yeah.
emotions going on your better half minds when you were there? Like you were engaged already, but you are landing on an alien land full of beautiful women. So what was the emotions down here in the Yamunanagar? In your within
Uh,
your parents, within your better half, what were the emotions?
I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, you tend to get those mixed feelings, that you already engaged when you land there. Because see, the first thing is, I mean, it's a struggle that you have to go through. I mean,
Hmm.
that's the reality part. But then, I mean, it all depends on your conscious and your subconscious mind. But then,
Hmm.
in a way, it might sound really dramatic or maybe theoretical. But then, I'd be very true to the fact. But then, I had actually, stuck to my, I had actually built up my subconscious and conscious like that. That I'm here,
Hmm.
to actually carve out a career for myself. I'm not here to look here and there, probably doing,
Hmm.
numerous, things that the other people would do. I will, stick to the fact because I have a responsibility back at home because my parents, they were quite excited. My would-be wife, she was quite excited because we were planning, on to, to have a
Hmm.
better future within the US itself. But then, somehow, I mean, some things work out for you in life and some things they don't work out. But then if you got to have your, priorities right. So
Hmm.
I always had my priorities right. But then I was not looking for a hanky panky, stunt out there, within US. That okay, I've
Hmm.
landed in the US. No, I don't care about the world. I don't care about the
Hmm.
people back home, and I would do whatever pleases me. And
Hmm.
I was very, very straight with the facts and the priorities that I had. So I mean, yes, I mean, you as an individual, as a bachelor, I mean, the stupid things, the naughty things, that cross really your head. But then it is all, the moment of, probably I would say, I mean, sometimes you have to really, keep a control on things, that you do and you don't do. You really have to make sure, because there are a lot of things, which really hamper your personal life as well. So I was, I'm thankful to God. I mean, maybe, He made me, did the right thing at the right time. And, I didn't lose anything. I didn't, go out of my mind, to do any stupid things out there. Though I did have, a lot of opportunities to, probably settle down there. But then I didn't want to adopt any, wrong
Yeah.
means, to
Wrong
get
means to do
settled
it.
there.
Yeah, this is very important for everybody who goes abroad. There is always a right way to get settled when you
Yep.
go abroad. But normally, what people tends to do, they look for an easier option, which is normally the wrong option. Okay, and then they move towards it. So this was really commendable that you didn't choose for a wrong with,
Yeah,
and then
and
you choose for a
I'd
right
like to
option.
add on Mudit onto this. I mean, just to add on to your
Mhm.
fact, it's absolutely right. I mean, for all the students out there, I mean, anybody who's an aspiring adult, who's looking forward to, probably settle down abroad or looking forward to, pursue their higher education or probably even go for a work permit or anything of that sort. When you plan to leave your home country, you need to have your priorities set. You need to have your,
Mhm.
frame of mind absolutely right where it is,
Mhm.
because I'll tell you, being in the business and now about 18 years plus of experience now, whether it's retail, international education business, and different aspects of life as well, because there are a lot of up and downs. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut at all. Maybe the shortcut will lead you anywhere, but then in a longer term goal, you are not going to land anywhere. That's my humble advice and request to
Mhm.
all the aspirants who are looking forward, to study or to, probably work abroad. Guys, there is no shortcut. Please be
Shortcuts.
prepared to work hard. Yes, you need to be street smart. I mean, smartness is the most important ingredient as well, but you're not supposed to run behind short term goals, because it will not lead you anywhere, but at the end of the day you will be misled with a lot of things. And
I
it is better to
I agree.
take, as we say, prevention is better than cure. Yeah.
So now coming to the next question, which is far more important than anything else. Once you come back, we as we are running short of time, so we'll quickly snapping everything in five minutes. So
Yeah.
once you come back to India, what was the biggest challenge
Okay,
before
coming back to
reaching
India,
where you are
the,
today? What was
the
the
biggest
biggest challenge
challenge.
in the last 3 4 years?
Coming to India, the biggest challenge was the relatives. I mean, that's the reality. I mean,
That's a funny answer, but
I've had reactions. I've had the reactions. How stupid can you be to come back from US? I mean, who comes back from US? See, I mean, it's there's nothing, that's really giving you a laugh. But then I've had these reactions from my relatives. Who comes back from US? Why did you come back? I said, I mean, bloody hell. I mean, the US is going through recession. I was in the middle of a recession. I could not
oh my
afford,
gosh.
being a master's, being an MBA, right? I mean, how could you imagine to pump gases on a gas station?
Yeah, I
I
understand. I understand.
I didn't go there to pump gas on a gas station. Though it was a part-time priority, not a full-time job. I went there to make a career. When I left India, I was working as assistant manager retail marketing. I had 7 people working under me at that point in time. So, I mean, had I been, into that phase, if I imagine right now, if in 2006 I was at an assistant manager grade into a mid management level handling 7 people, imagine after 20 years I would have been a VP or a CEO of any company in
Hmm.
India.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I mean,
very true.
see, that is where it relates to, the previous question that you asked me. I mean, there is no
Hmm.
shortcut to success, right? I mean, you need to
Yeah,
work.
that's very
So, I mean, the reactions were, I mean, really weird, really stupid, because they didn't know what was happening out there, because all they knew was every Punjabi who went to Canada and America, they don't come back. They don't come back. You drive a
so.
truck.
So, how do you landed up in education industry after that? Like,
Yeah, I'll just come to
how
that. When
come
I
this
came back,
education industry
yeah.
and today regional manager of Gold University? Okay.
Yeah, so the journey actually, started really, it wasn't into the, you'll be surprised to know I didn't mean to land into the education business. When I came back, I always had a dream to work, for the hospitality industry. I was always, fascinated by the hospitality, industry. I don't know why. I would not be able to give you a, formulated or a, stipulated reason, but then somehow I like the service industry and hospitality was one of them. So, I was, searching down a couple of options. Browsing through the, net and my LinkedIn, profile, came across, one of the project, who was really looking forward, to hospitality recruitments. And they were looking, to recruit
Hmm.
from the Asian market as well. So slowly and gradually, I just happened to, have that and, connected with that person. We had, couple of, emails communicated with each other. We liked the project. I mean, he was interested, to venture into the Indian market. I was kind of, he liked the way, probably I had the approach, towards the recruiting part and everything. And that is how actually we started off. I went to Singapore. He invited me there.
Mhm.
He gave me a couple of contracts, introduced me to a couple of employees. And that time, hospitality was really booming. Hospitality is still booming, but then at that point in time, they were really, short on labor and everything. So that is how, it started off. I started off with the hospitality recruitments, to be very honest with you. I didn't care about the education industry because I was making good money in the recruitment business, and I was recruiting from Mumbai, Pune, Bangalore, all educated people from the hospitality background. So there was no hanky panky, all straightforward, cutthroat, things happening. The students getting the visa, well paid, and for consecutively 2 years, I stuck to what I was doing. But then it didn't last. See, nothing lasts forever, as we all know. So then, but once, the things, they started actually deteriorating, because of the, markets, they started manipulating things. So, there was a lot of, strictness happening out there. So, that was the time actually in 2012, I would say, or 11, I would say. I mean, yeah, 12ish or 11ish. I mean, that is where, I started off with the student visas. I started working with the local agency because the reason, I was so fascinated about all because I had gone through the whole process. I knew, the A to Z of the whole process and what the student goes through and the kind of practical knowledge that I had. I think it would be an added on advantage wherein if I were to, land into this industry and probably, guide the students or counsel the students, because every agency or every agent in this industry is not that knowledgeable because everyone has not studied abroad. They know the facts and figures, just by theoretical reasons. They don't have the practical approach. So that is where I actually started off, with the local agency, spent, a good, 5 to 6 years, working with them, had a good amount of knowledge. And that is how, I started off, with my education business. And
So,
then yeah.
yeah, so like coming to the education abroad industry today, being a representative of a TEF Gold university, when it comes to counseling a student, what kind of a social responsibility that you hold in your heart and mind?
As I said earlier, Mudit, I mean, I take it very, very personally. I do make sure that the student or the parent who's coming, with the student, I mean, they are aware of the pros and cons because, I mean, it's already the opposite of, what the student thinks and what the parent thinks. Now it is, I mean, the parent wants the
Mhm.
student to settle rather than to study. I mean, the first question is, I mean, how will my kid, my son or a daughter, will get a PR of that particular country? And sometimes it,
Mhm.
it it's
Mhm.
really frustrating also
Is
because
it the is it the, sorry, I'll interrupt in between. Is it the only Punjab specific market that talks about PR, Haryana or Punjab, or it is the same matter when you move across the markets? Because you have been handling a huge market. How do you see a difference when the location gets changed for a student?
yeah, I would say yes. I mean, particularly majority of it is northern part of India. Majority of it is northern part of India because here, I mean, the mindset of people is totally different. But then when you start moving towards the central part of India, western part of India, and down south also, I think they're very, very career oriented. So I mean, in the northern, working with the northern region, I think that's a difficult, very, very difficult challenge. Though I would not say that the market is not evolving. Now, the parents have also started thinking likewise. The market has started to evolve, but it might take about 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years, Mother, to be very honest with you.
Yes.
Once the market evolves and the parents, they start understanding and they start realizing the value of the foreign education that is actually being input into their kids' life, and how important and you know, uh, how it has helped their kid as an individual to grow professionally and becoming independent.
So I got your point. So before, like now, I will go more personal into your life and then talk next 5 minutes about it. I would like you to share one of your secrets of your life with my audience, which you might have not told it to anyone to get to this place to get successful today. So I would like you down. They can also make that a successful one.
I see. I mean, to be very honest and blunt on this, I mean, I don't want to sound very modest about it, and please don't take me like that. There aren't any secrets,
Mm-hmm.
but then I'll tell you, the biggest challenge, that I've faced in my uh, probably, starting from an India representative working with Newton University to landing into a South Asia manager, handling the whole South Asia region. I'll tell you the biggest, challenge that I've faced, working with when I started off, working as an India rep. Uh, you know Newton University very well, right? I
Yes,
mean,
yes, yes.
imagine
I've been
I
a
have,
part of it, so obviously.
yeah. So I mean, imagine
No,
I've sustained with that university with one goddamn single course, promoting that into the market, and I've survived with that course for 3 consecutive years. And every time I would step into the agent's office, and I would set up numerous expectations as promised
mm-hmm.
by the institution to me, and likewise it would go to the agent. So it was so daunting, it was so tormenting. I cannot really explain it to you in words, though the management, the institution, they're brilliant people to work with. I mean, they have their own diplomatic challenges, within the education sector, but then it doesn't drive the business, right? I mean, I was in business, I had to drive sales, I had to drive numbers also. But I mean, those 3 years, and when I actually started thinking of moving on, and when I had to explain it in my interviews, that how the hell,
This is
did I
them.
pull that job with a single course? I mean, I think that was the biggest challenge I faced. I mean, there is
Yeah,
nothing,
that's true.
secretive as such, but a couple of things here and there. I mean, you really cannot be upfront about everything and anything, that you do in life. So I think that was there, but then there is nothing secretive, I would say, to be honest.
Shall I'll throw you a question in a different way. So
Yeah.
what is there one thing that you would like get change in this industry? What is
I
that thing that you really feel is wrong and the whole industry scenario can be changed?
I missed the whole question. I think there's a network problem.
Okay, I'll repeat my question.
Yeah.
What is that single thing that you really wish would be changed in this industry as a whole? It may be a thought process, it may be the employee engagement, or it may be the way employer look at their employee. What is that single thing that you think if it's changed that will really have a good impact on the industry?
See, I mean, everyone has a different opinion on it. I mean, I might have a different opinion on it, but I think the most important aspect of our industry and our business is to actually have the right amount of product knowledge being imparted to the employees or any individual who's landing into the business. I think it will really, really play a
Mm-hmm.
very, very important role, because what the industry misses out here is the product knowledge. And now, it has happened during the past couple of years. What I've, really noticed, and I know you would agree with me, every second person who doesn't know shit about this business, they want to run a consultancy. They would want to, and I don't know what they think. I mean, that the industry makes billions of dollars, probably just like the flick of their hand. I mean, they would do like that, but then what they don't understand is the kind of effort and the kind of knowledge that is required to run this particular show. There's a lot of effort that is required. So I think,
Yeah,
one thing that
yeah.
is that is really important in this business is to have the right candidature, and only if you have the right product knowledge, I think you should enter the business.
Okay. As per you, like the entry barrier, which is very currently very low in the industry, it should be raised by some government policies or maybe something else, so that any XYZ Tom, Dick, and Harry can't become just a consultant who is looking forward to guide students.
Absolutely, because see, at the end of the day, what we really need to make sure, see, I mean, you really cannot play with someone's career. It's someone's career that is at stake. They're spending a huge amount of money. There's a lot of investment
Mhm.
that is required, for any parent, to have their kid, sent abroad. So if they guide, if they have the right amount of knowledge, that could be imparted, I think it would answer and rectify that previous question that you asked me, that the parents mindset has to be changed, from getting their student not the PR first but the education first.
One last for end of the session.
Mhm.
Can you just quickly sum a bit about your next intake so that the audience, if they have any question, they ask you the same.
Sure. My next intake is January. We're recruiting for January now. However, I'll tell you the best part. I mean, my university, we do not have a deadline. So anytime any student who is interested, just hop onto our website www.buckingham.ac.uk. Go to the website, check out the course. If the course, and whether it's a UG course or a PG course, just click on that course link, and on the top of the banner, when you click that course on the top of the banner, it will show the availability of the course. So if you're interested for next September, please, you're most welcome to apply for that course. I'll give you the offer letter for September as well. So
Oh,
because
that's
there are
great.
no deadlines, yeah, and every program is open. Almost every program is open except the MBBS.
Okay. So MBBS is the MBBS for Indian students?
It is actually it's a global platform. Anybody can apply from anywhere. It's just that, I mean, we are sold out for January 2022, and we are open for 2023 now.
Okay, so can you just give us a quick snapshot on the basic course and their eligibility and obviously the tuition fees? A quick snapshot just for 2 minutes.
Sure. I mean, see, for the undergraduate and PG, the requirements are quite standard. We're looking for 6.5 and 6, nothing less than 6 in each module. Even if it's a UG course or a PG course, we have courses available from accounting, psychology, there are IT courses available. Then we have law. I mean, you name the course. I mean, we almost have it, except engineering, healthcare. We do not have the, and hospitality courses. We have everything available on board. Uh, if we talk about the pre-masters, any student who has 6 each, they qualify for a pre-masters with an MBA, and any student who has 6 5.5, they can qualify for an integrated foundation program. Now the best part is, since our undergraduate degree, all undergraduate degrees are 2 years. So the student would not even feel the difference, and they can have a degree completed within 3 years, even if they're going for a foundation year program. So all undergraduate programs are 2 years. All masters programs are 1 year programs. That's in a nutshell. The offer letter takes about 2 to 3 weeks. That's the maximum time that for the offer. But then the cash would come actually within 5 days. That's a very quicker tat for the cash. It's the only offer that would take a while.
Yeah, that is.
That's 2 to 3 weeks. And you can apply anything that you want to. That's it. Okay, Swati Kumari, UKV IELTS, we accept all type of IELTS. I think it's not mandate that we need to have UKV IELTS. Any general IELTS, would actually justify, not a problem. Anything else? I think there's a
I'll just somebody is raising the hand. I can't see much of a question right now because you have already given training to us. No, there are questions coming in. Thank you. Any IELTS waiver for CBSE? There was one question. University accepting Duolingo is the another question.
I'm sorry, we are not accepting Duolingo at the moment, and there are no waivers for any boards whatsoever. Only IELTS applications.
Okay. Any more questions, please? So, anyways, Amit, we'll continue our talk till the time questions comes in. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone. So yeah, so it was really a very great session today. Though I know you personally at every front, but though this was a great session, and I like the way you go down to the memory and pass on a very important information to everyone, that there is a right way of doing and getting settled down abroad. and you should not be choosing the wrong way to make your life easier. So, but
Absolutely.
still, as we have some rule set for our show. So as per the rule set, you still have to give one tip to everyone currently seeing this episode, and then once it get uploaded on the YouTube. So there is one tip that you have to give it to everyone. So I would like to share that tip from you. Please go ahead.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, what kind of tip? I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, what kind of tip?
The
I
tip,
mean,
the tip is basically for the study abroad aspirants who are already
okay.
working in this industry, study abroad colleagues who are on a junior level, like counselors, junior counselors. A tip for them to grow and ensure that the social responsibilities are met.
I think to all the people out there, probably you really see. I would quote my example because I think I have. I think God has been kind to me, but then I haven't reached this position just with a flick of a hand. I think what I would really advise everybody out there in the businesses. I mean, guys, please set your priorities right. Please have do not have incomplete information. Have the right kind of knowledge and have the right kind of aptitude and approach towards whatever you do in this business, because what will really keep you going is it's not every product will not be Canada. You need to accept challenges also, because Canada has nothing because Canada as a destination, as far as I know, Canada is a very, very easy destination to work with. I mean, you don't require an extra effort. But what I would really, another piece of advice would be, I mean, please do have the right kind of knowledge. Please be updated, with the kind of courses and technology, that is evolving around. So that, because everything is not data science, everything is not IT software programming. It has, see, the avenues have gone way beyond our imagination. Sitting at a position where I am, I'll tell you, I do not leave a single day without learning anything. I take
Mhm.
every day that I am new to this business, and I think it will take me ages, for me to learn things. So I begin my every day, taking it that I would learn something, and I'm not, being theoretical about it, guys. Trust me, I implement it on my own. I never leave a single second to learn, even if I'm promoting the UK as a destination, but I do not leave any stone unturned if I have to learn about Europe also, that what exactly is happening within the European zone. Because
That's
when you
very
go out there, when you're trying to, grow as an individual in your career also, tomorrow you will be managers, you might have an opportunity to work with the university, you might get an opportunity to work with a direct institution. How would you prove yourself the kind of the product knowledge or the kind of approach that you have towards this, towards the education business? It is only going to work out once you have that kind of diversity of learning things. That is where you'll be able to prove your mark. Okay, yes, the and if you make the interviewer feel that, okay, I want this guy or girl to work with me. Until or unless you work towards that product knowledge of yours, if you stick around in a box of a 4x4, okay, this is my counseling sheet, this is my 20 points, okay, done, period, end of story. I am sorry, guys, you won't be able to grow as an individual. But what I
Yeah,
would
the
really suggest
learning
you is
is
keep
very
growing,
important.
keep learning. Yeah,
Yeah, learning
thank
is
you. I
very
think.
important. This is what I normally get to hear from my mentors also. That it's very important every day to learn something new. And then the day you stop doing it, you will lag behind in the industry. So
Yeah.
that's really nice of you. So it was great to have you on show, Amit. So though we can talk for another hour also, but there has to be a lot of things behind the show also. So we'll have a chat about it. But yeah, I'm really thankful to you that you have shared good information to the audience today, and we'll ensure that we will keep on inviting you in my show in the near future again.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mudit. Thank you, Team Uni Experts, also, for giving me the opportunity. Trust me, it has been, probably the first time, that I've shared anything personal, on live on a platform. I mean, I don't like to do it, but then I couldn't, say no to, the person behind, who's hosting it. I mean, he's the culprit behind it. So thank you so much, Modit. Thank you so much, Team Uni Experts, for this brilliant opportunity. It was really wonderful,
No, it
wonderful
was really
interacting
nice.
with
We
you.
also enjoyed.
And
We enjoyed a lot.
I really look forward, to, be a part of, for your, shows. Probably if I can, inspire anyone, I've earned something in life, I think.
No, that is for sure. That is for sure. We'll make sure that the story gets spread so that more and more people get inspired of it. So thanks a lot, Amit, for today. We'll talk to you soon
Sure.
behind the show. Okay.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
buddy.
much,
Take care.
everybody. Thank you. Have a good one,
Thank you.
and good luck. Good luck, everyone. Bye
Thank you.
bye.